17之6，用英文开始于2005年8月初3。
Hello Buddha, why do you cry? In your stone heart, how much desire? At that time, all the smaller kings and all the citizens of all these countries feel so sad, so sorrowful, so painful. So they come with each other, gather each other and come in front of the king and say, Your Majesty, all of us, and the citizens rely on your merit and blessing of thousands of lifetime. So we became very peaceful and prosperous up to now. If your Majesty bought 1,000 holes in your body and to make light, to offer, then of course you will die, they said, okay? Then whom are we relying on? Who can we depend on? Yeah? We will be like children without parents. Please reconsider. Do not do this. Sacrifice is just for one person. Crazy request. Yeah, everyone would think like that, right? Yeah. And then after that, the 20,000 wives and 500 prince and princess and 10,000 court officials, they all came and kneel in front of the king and say the same thing. Try to stop him to do such a sacrifice. But the king was displeased. He talked very loud. He raised his voice and say, You do not try to obstruct me. This is the great thing that I have an opportunity to do. I sacrificed my body just to listen to one sentence of truth. Then in the future, if I became Buddha, I will rescue all of you first, liberate all of you first. Because all of them see in the way the king expressed himself, truthfully and decisively like that. They continue crying and crying, but the king didn't change his mind. After 7 days, he came in front of the teacher, the Brahman, prostrate in front of him as a student to a teacher, and then say, Please, great master, with all sincerity, we follow what the teacher requests. And then now I will begin to bore holes in the body to make light to offer to you. And then they asked his subordinate to bore holes in the body. Nobody dared to do it. And then there is one of the, the lowest class person. The king want to award him something, so he dare come in. After he bore all the hole, he just throw the knife and left. He did not even take the reward. He just had to do it just to help the king because nobody else wanted to do. And even the king let the lowest class touch him. Not just touch him, but bore holes. 10,000 holes. Oh, how can you continue to live like that? Everyone saw this. They all, they tremble with fear and sorrow. And then the king humbly said to the Brahman, Please, great master, tell us the teaching first, because after burning the light, burning the oil, maybe I will die before I could even hear the truth. So please say it first, and then we can burn after. So the Brahman read a quatrain like this. Whatever exists will disappear. If something from high, then they will fall low one day. Didn't you know? if there is a union, then there will be separation. Didn't you know that also? Yes. You didn't? Then you must make 1,000 holes on your body. If being born, then we'll die. Ah, what a truth. For 1,000 holes in the body. And then after the king heard already, he tells him to copy and then give to people. And then he asked his subordinate to light the lamp on his body. When the flame comes up very high all over his body, his face is still very pacified. He didn't complain. He just, as normal. He doesn't change his attitude or appearance. And then he said in front of everyone, I have suffered like this for the truth, to request the truth. I vow to use this merit for the Buddhahood, yeah? Yes. After I became a Buddha, I will use this bright wisdom to destroy all the darkness in this world for all beings to benefit. After he said that, after he sincerely make a vow like that, the whole heavens and earth shaken violently, up to very, very high heaven, one of the high heaven, not very high, high at that time. And then all the heavenly being was surprised. Fancy the heaven don't even know anything. Only when the whole earth shake, then the heaven shake, then they surprised. I thought the gods would know everything, even small God. No, they don't know. Okay. Told you. That's why the master has to come down. Otherwise, what for? The God would do everything for you. They don't really care. They're too happy. Just like rich people, they don't realize how poor people would suffer. Like Marie Antoinette of France, they said to her, people, our citizens don't have bread to eat. He said, then give them cakes. Did you understand? It's a very famous saying of the Queen Marie Antoinette of France. She doesn't realize, she doesn't understand what means no bread. She couldn't imagine anyone who has no bread to eat, meaning no food, hungry. But she did not capiche. She said, then give them cakes. Okay, so this is a problem when we are so rich, so powerful, then we indulge in all this luxury and we could not remember other people who suffer, yeah? Yes, so maybe now and again we should be reminded of that. There was a film called My Housemate is a Millionaire or Billionaire? Yes. There was the son of a billionaire that in his tradition, family tradition, even though they're very rich and powerful, but every family member have to go and do two weeks labor work, like everyone else, so that they don't lose touch with reality. We have respect for money and the labor of other people, appreciate life. And then after he became the housekeeper of that woman who's in another company, which she doesn't know, he's not allowed to tell her. And he do all the household work, and then he fell in love with her, and then later they both get married, and the end, the story. After married, then the story ends. But it's funny, she has already 3 children, and divorced her, separate from her husband. Her husband left her with the 3 children, already elderly than him, and he still was in love with her. Some people like elderly women, so we have hope, eh? You and I, yeah? You and I, huh? Yeah. We 3 have hope, huh? Yeah. You just have to dye your hair a little bit blacker. It's too platinum, It shows your age. Okay, where were we? Okay, after he said that, he vowed so sincerely, so all the heaven and earth were trembling. So all the gods and small gods and citizen gods looked down on earth and said, what is this? A bodhisattva burned himself as lambs to make offering to the teacher, just to hear one short sentence of one short sentence of the truth. Probably it's initiation as well, I think. It's not just, well, I'm not sure. Yeah. It is so frightening. So all of them flew down from heaven and standing, all over the firmament, full of them. They fill the firmament with their beings, or the heavenly people. So they were very, very so touched, so moved, that some of the heavenly beings cry. Because they cry, but they cry not like we cry, just a few drops. They cry and it become rain. And then they also throw down a lot of flowers to make offering to the king, the Bodhisattva king. And then the chakra god, he must come at this time and still ask the king, you suffer so much, do you feel some regret? Imagine, huh? Imagine. There's nothing better to do than poking fun at people, even such stage of suffering already, still sitting there and ask question. Typical Asura, king of Asura. Chakra has a lot of power, magic, and whatever he has. Always go down and test people. Already bought 1,000 holes and burning light already. All the heaven and earth are crying, and he still come down. You are regretting or not? Oh my God, what a God. I would tell him, get lost, None of your business. And the king still say, no, I do not regret. And the chakra still say, but you're trampled like that. Who would not, huh? Wouldn't he trample if he bought 1,000 in his body, the chakra god? But you're trampling like that. And you say you don't regret. How would I know? How can you prove it? Imagine, people suffer like that already, still ask for proof. How can? He's just a mortal. This kind of God. And then the chakra had asked like that, and the king vowed to all the Buddhas or whoever, he said, if my heart truly not regret, from beginning to the end, or sincere, then please let all the holes on my body disappear and my body regain the normal shape like before. Because he was so sincere, so pure, that his sincerity moved 10 directions of all the saints and sages and Buddha and gods. Then suddenly all his holes, that burning hole, disappear, and he regained his beautiful body again, but it's even better than before. His body even more bright, with light, I guess. And he said, World Honor One, Buddha, the king who bought 1,000 holes to burn as light to offer for the truth at that time, it was you. You suffered so much to request the truth, to search for the truth. Today you already have it all. Why you don't come out and teach us, and lecture to us, and give lecture? Why do you want to go to nirvana? Let all beings lose the lamp of the world, the light of the world, and lost the eyes of wisdom. Okay, so he continued to remember many more lives, but I think I'll let you go, huh? There are many more lives, almost as scary as that. Nobody could ever do this, the way the Buddha did.
Message is not strong.
Yeah, Buddha. the Buddha Sakyamuni in the past life. That's what he did, many things. And another one, he's a king, another king again, and then also probably the same, 84,000, 20,000 wives and concubines and 500 prince and 10,000 official, court official, yeah. And he's also very kind, very loving, etc., etc., yeah. But then he loved his subject as much as he loved his children, just as his children. But one day he also think, all this is ephemeral. I would like to search the Buddha's status, the status, the enlightened state of Buddhahood. So he also post notice everywhere, say, whoever know the truth, come teach me, and I would reward richly whatever that person wants. So after a long time, there was a Brahmin who came again. Brahmin, huh? It's the same? The same Lao Dosai? No. Check it out. Maybe they all have the same name, just like in Spain, Jose, Mary, Joseph. I thought I see Lao Dosai before. Yeah, this is a Lao Dosai, yeah. So there's another one. Okay. Probably all the Brahmin have similar name, Lao Dosai, another Lao Dosai maybe. So he came to the king palace and say, I am the one who has been practicing and knowing deeply the truth of Dhamma, Buddha's Dhamma, mean enlightened saints Dhamma. Go inside and tell the king that I will teach him. So blah 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 blah. King happy, go out. Invited him sincerely, humbly, and make a day, invite him up. Okay. And then the king and the officer and all the people come and prostrate in front of him and request, okay? You know that. Similar, okay? All this humility, and sincerity, and ask. And then the Brahman Lao Dosai said, according to my knowledge, do you know, it is very, very difficult. I have been practicing, accumulating the truth through a lot of diligent work and sacrifice, from very many far away, thousands of miles away, in order to gather all this knowledge. You, the king, look at this like a cheap and simple thing. He looked down upon the king's sincerity. All this prostration mean nothing to him. So he said the king is not respectful enough, not sincere enough. And the king sweat. Oh, this is a different thing. Before, we didn't see any king sweat before. He's sweating, like scared, feeling a little bit scared. He said, oh, please, great master, so how could we do it? What kind of ceremony or condition, huh?
What manners?
Manners, yeah, or festivity or request that we should do in order to do it properly. Please teach us. Yeah.